This is my current typing speed. A month ago, it looked like this. My typing speed is not this slow initially on QWERTY. I always wanted to be able to type faster. It came down to two pathways. One, race typing games. Another one is to learn another keyboard layout. I chose to do another layout. From there was another branching path, the Dvorak and Colmac. Well, there was Workman too. And I chose Colmac. Many of the standard hotkeys remain in the same spot, like Control Z, Control X, Control C, Control V. I chose the learning approach on KeyBR because it basically progresses you through every letter, not based on curriculum. It's based on how ready you were to go to the next letter, and it'll give you another letter to work on. It took about 12 hours across 10 days, so a little bit over an hour a day. There are problems when learning a new layout. My biggest one is a lot of PC games, they do not support it. There are games that do, and they even automatically rebind your keys for you. In fact, it seems like it just looks at like a keyboard layout. The worst ones are the games that has forced bindings. Sometimes QWERTY habits will occasionally come back. And some of these things I kind of knew, but then didn't really see it in practice until I actually recognized it in practice. Like one typo can drastically slow down your typing speed. To practice this, I used TypeRacer's death mode because one typo will make it a game over. And because of that, you start noticing like the types of mistakes that you make. You also have to have an intent to actually type faster. Another one is, at least in the beginning, you have to practice every single day without skipping one day. And some of my typos were from how sensitive my keys are. Don't try to use Cherry MX speeds when learning a new layout because you might slide your finger across. Also try to do it rhythmically too, like a staccato. It will be slower because I think it will help with your brain neurons to position your fingers at the correct spots for the words that you'll probably see very often. And the last thing I learned was always use the shift keys on the opposite hand. I think this habit of using the shift keys on the same hand came from using the control keys. So a lot of places said to use TypeRacer or Monkey Type to practice typing. I realized that trial by fire on a brand new layout was not going to work out for me. I took a more progressive approach using KeyBR, but there are problems with this KeyBR. Somewhere past the halfway point, having one mistake will bring one of your letters to 0 in your confidence level, and you have to work your way up again. So that added extra time during the learning process. So about 13 hours later, I eventually learned every key. Then I started using TypeRacer and NitroType and Monkey Type. And after few to several weeks, it did make my typing faster. Not at the level of my QWERTY speed yet. There were a number of days in a row where your speed would just plateau. I also came across this new website that seems to be getting some traction called Keymash. So here are my results after 1 month. See, I'm not at the level of speed where my QWERTY speed is. However, Google says that an average speed is 40 to 42 words per minute, meaning I'm already faster typing this new layout than the average person. I can only recommend this layout if you're willing to put in time to learning it, a lot of time initially, without saying like, oh, I won't skip today. And you have to be willing to accept that you will be typing slower initially. And your learning process could be very different than mine. It's very clear that I'm not fluent with this layout yet. And I've been using this exclusively since mid-February. I mean, I started learning it early February. And will I switch back? Maybe. Maybe in like a few months, I will come back to this and maybe post it on Twitter or Instagram about my progress on how fast I'm typing. And if you decide to learn a new layout, whether it be the Dvorak or Colmac or even Workman, I will say good luck, have fun.